In the near future, we could foresee major China outsourcing industry consolidations within Chinese company itself and also with many international outsourcing firms. Beyond Soft has no excuses. We will look globally on M&A opportunities and partnership with large global sourcing companies to increase our marketing and sales channels, therefore realize our scalable, again, stable, low-cost, highly motivated workforce. So in summary, I would like to say the global marketing requires global sourcing to create the best team, to deliver the most cost-effective value to fulfill the market needs. Thank you. I hand it back to Parker.
Thanks, Jonathan. Gordon, can we get your perspective, please?
Sure. So you asked for a little background, just to let you know what I've done in the past. I've been in software development or in outsourcing for about 27 years, with outsourcing with companies like CSC and ADP and software companies like Oracle. I have started 3 companies. I've taken 2 of them public, and I've done global sourcing and product development in 16 countries. So I've got a fairly broad perspective in terms of what needs to be done where. Currently, I'm the CEO of Symphony Services. All we do is commercial software development or offshore product development, whatever you want to call it, with companies like Oracle and companies like Concur. And we're the partner who things are going well with Concur, not the one previously, thank goodness. And we'll keep focused on that. And, you know, companies like Autodesk and Hyperion and NetApps and software-enabled companies like Google and Yahoo and people like that. So we have about 80 customers. And our core competency is understanding the product development lifecycle, understanding what it's like to build software products, the performance, the scalability, the reliability, the quality that's required. We did 644 product releases in 2006 for about 300 software products. So for us, it's all about quality and best practices and bringing those to all of our different clients. I was asked about the challenges, and I guess if you're a software company or a software-enabled company, the challenges are a little different. For software companies, you know, it's really access to talent. If you go into Silicon Valley today, it's getting almost as hot as it was back in the early 2000s, late 90s. So it's access to talent, obviously labor, but it's also access to the right type of talent. So the challenge is you need to find people with domain knowledge who understand your product sets. You need to find people with an R&D mindset and framework. This isn't project-oriented work. These are long-term, multi-year agreements. You have to operate as an extension of the client's company, whether it's a captive or whether it's a service provider like ourselves. And to be able to do it successfully, you have to have a goal mindset versus a task mindset. So the IT task mindset doesn't work in the software development world. You're not going to keep the people with high skills, high domain knowledge, interested or happy, and you're not going to get the innovation and things that you need to get out of engineering. So if you're a software company, I think that's a challenge. If you're a software-enabled company, it's like McGraw-Hill, who has a division, their largest competitor is Google. It's waking up to the fact that that's no longer IT. That's a software development division, and they have to run it that way. And then it has all the same issues that, or challenges that software companies have. And then I guess if you want to think about software companies coming out of India trying to branch out into the West and other parts of the world, you have the challenges of figuring out how to build the products right. But then you have the other challenge of ideation and understanding the marketplace and going out and being able to sell and market successfully. And I think product development in India is here today. I think product development in China in full force, where you can own entire product lines, is 5 to 7 years behind India, but will get there and is very good for certain things right now. And a great workforce that just doesn't have the experience base. And I think longer term, and I don't know how long that's going to be, but we're not there yet, where you're going to see a fair amount of software companies come out of India. But I think there needs to to be a bit of a mind shift and it's probably going to be people from the West who have come back, Indian nationals who come back and understand exactly what the customers want. So I think those are the challenges for those three groups.
Right. Thanks, Gordon.
Just so that you know, Oracle is one of the most well-established software companies in India. We've been in India now 10 or 12 years, even more, and have about 8,000+ employees doing various aspects of product development, services, sales, and so on. So it's a very large presence in addition to the presence that we have with Symphony Services. So what I'm going to speak about is sort of generic in nature, specifically to Oracle. I'm not going to necessarily make references, but there are certain things that are occurring in the tech landscape that are actually quite critical, and Gordon alluded to one, which is talent is very hard to find in the US. And one of the things that has occurred is that year-to-year enrollment in computer science and engineering is declining in the US at a dramatic rate. I think people know that. Even compared to last year, the decline is about 10%, which is substantial. So if that continues, what's going to happen is talent pool in the US is going to diminish at a rapid rate, and that's largely it's a capitalist society. So when the dot-com bubble burst, people stopped, they lost interest in tech jobs to a large extent. And of course, outsourcing and offshoring to India and China hasn't helped either. So that's kind of a fact. Now, having said that, we have a large talent pool available in India, vast numbers. But even in spite of that, talent is hard to find. And some of the panelists have alluded to why that is the case. So there's positive and negatives here too. Some of the other positives actually from an India standpoint is offshoring or outsourcing for all tech companies in the US is no longer accidental. It has to happen. You're just not doing it to satisfy your CFO's requirements for cutting costs. Coming to India or China or any other country with a talent pool is a necessity. So that's a positive from a standpoint of product development. Thirdly, if you look at how companies have evolved over the last 5-7 years with regard to their focus on product development, everyone starts off with maybe moving QA over or some maintenance functions over to India. But more and more now you see substantial product areas being engineered out of in India for sure, and I'm sure that will happen in China as well. So companies are investing. They are recognizing that there is a talent pool available. Those are all kind of positives. But if you look at it, we still have some hurdles to climb. One I alluded to is the talent pool. It's not that we don't have the numbers. We certainly have the numbers of engineers. But when you actually see the engineers coming out, many of them don't have very strong CS background. Many of them have a misunderstanding or lack of understanding of what it takes to be successful in a corporate environment. It's not your individual success. It's a team, and how do you make sure that the team works well and you contribute well in a team. I think some of those ideas are not very well entrenched in our engineers when they come out of the market.